It's a myth. If you thought about it, like if that was your, please unlearn it. It's false. What's up, beautiful people? I am Romy. I am a novelist and fiction writing teacher, and as you can see from the title below, we are gonna be smashing writing myths. And speaking of smashing, don't forget to smash that subscriber button, like and share this video so you do not miss an update. And don't forget to turn on your post notification. So the first myth I'll be smashing is the myth that says you can't make a living as a writer. I don't know who said that or who stated it, but that's very false, because a lot of writers are making good money from writing. Now, I don't need to introduce you to the popular writers like J.K. Rowling, Neil Gaiman, and all those big time writers. But even small time writers are making money in the back end. They're making a lot of money, and just because they're not famous or big and all, does not mean they are always broke. People do make money from writing. All writers are shy and timid, introverted people. So there's this notion that most writers, all writers, are introverts. That's mostly true, but introverts are not always shy and timid. When you say introvert, right, it means like they like to keep to themselves, they like their personal space, they like to stay on their own, to just recharge their creative energy. That's how an introvert works, right? But there's nowhere where it states that an introvert must be shy or timid. I'm blunt, I'm loud, and I'm talkative, but I could say I'm an introvert because I keep to myself, right? So that's a myth. All writers are depressed. Who made up this? Not all writers are depressed. People have issues, everybody have things they're dealing with, but you can't just say all writers are depressed. People think that when you're depressed, you create better art. Your creativity is very high. You can be creative and not be depressed, okay? And you could treat your depression if you are depressed and still be creative. It doesn't go together. Right? We will kill you in our books. I don't know. We won't kill you in our books. It's still a myth, because we will not write about every single grudge we have with somebody. Excuse me, our plots may not align with the grudge. We may create or get inspired by a misunderstanding we have with someone and turn it have a way to put it into our story, but we cannot or we will not plot our issues. We won't do that. And secondly, if we put you in our story or in our book, you should be honored, right? You're a mortal man, you die, but we try to make you immortal in our story. You should feel privileged, right? Now, the next one is that all our stories or all our books stem from personal fantasies. Do you know the kind of fantasies that are in my head? How would they correlate my stories? I write romance, right? So it's possible that I could turn my fantasies into a story. But what about people that write about mystery, sci-fi, all these witch things and stuff? I don't think anyone that writes about witches or dying is having such personal fantasies like that. So that's clearly wrong. We may do it, but that does not mean that we just all our books stem from our personal fantasies. That doesn't happen. The next one is writers are dark and cold people. This is officially wrong. People think we hate everyone, we hate the world, we hate animals, we hate people, we hate everything. We're just dark or just cold or just angry. We may not be people person. Is that wrong? We may not be a people person. Some people, most writers are introvert, like I said earlier, and they may not like to always relate to people and all that stuff, but that does not mean they hate everyone or they're angry or they're cold and they're dark and they're mysterious. Nah, we are not cold people. As a matter of fact, some writers are very, very loving and relatable. You just need to ease up, you just need to get comfortable with them and all that. So we are not dark people, okay? The next one is good writers are born like that. People think that if you're born when you're young and you don't love writing when you're young, and you suddenly wake up maybe in your early or your mid-20s or 30s and say, oh, I am a writer, I want to become a writer, I want to do writing stuff. They say you're not a writer, like you can't be a good writer, like you have to be born with talent, you know, pure talent to be a successful writer. You just need to write to be a writer. You don't need to wake up with writing skills. In short, if you're even born writing skills, I think that will make your mom very uncomfortable in the hospital and throughout her 9 months of, you know, carrying you, because writing skills comes with a lot. If you know what I mean. As a matter of fact, I did not know I had any writing love whatsoever until I was 13. So when I was young, I really liked drawing and all that. I said I was going to be a painter, an artist or something like that. And I changed my mind. I said I was going to be an architect. So many, you know, my children, right? The next one, you have to write every day to be a good writer. No, this works for some, this doesn't work for some, right? Okay, maybe this would work very well for full-time writers. Most people have kids, they have family, they have school, they have work, they have stuff, you know, they can't, basically, you can't write. I'm not saying it's impossible. You could try it. You could try. When I mean write every day, I mean people have this very strict rule that 365 days a year, you should write 365 times, like every single day. I try to write regularly, but when I miss out on one day in a week, I don't feel so bad, you know, because I'm just being realistic, right? Like, what's the rush? Okay, I didn't say that. You want to get your book out there, but I don't think you writing every day is going to like make you suddenly a great writer overnight. Practice makes perfect, but let's just be realistic, okay? Most new writers struggle with this. Having a bad draft makes you a bad writer. Wrong. So basically, people think that if your first draft is not perfect and good and all that stuff, you're not a good writer. My dear, even those bestsellers you're seeing on the shelves or you're seeing on Amazon, on Kindle and all that stuff, do you know how many times they've been edited? Do you know how many times they've been polished, proofread, critiqued? No, you don't. So it actually goes through a lot of processes to come out as fine wine. You know, most people's drafts will be horrible, painful truth, but you just have to swallow it right there. I am writing my debut novel, and some parts of my novel I'm like, yay, I'm like good, I'm like, oh, I'm like, ah, I'm like, but some parts of my novel when I read them, I'm like, girl, did you write this? Like, really? Are you this bad? It's a process, right? So you will have bad days, good days. Now, if your first draft is bad, you're not a bad writer. You just need to hone your skills, okay? So the next one is you have to have a writing degree, a creative writing degree to be. You must not have a creative writing degree to be a good writer, or a writing degree to be a good writer. Why? Because I think having a degree in writing has to do with your finances and what exactly you want. It's your choice. You having a writing degree is not a prerequisite. It's not a credential for you to be a good or a great writer. So you have to hone your skills. Like I said, the process. Okay, you can't jump from point A to point 100. You know, you have to learn as you go. You must not have a degree to be a good writer. Now, the next one is you have to outline to create a good book. Okay, plotter alert. I'm a plotter. That means I outline. Okay, but I do not judge people that don't outline, right? If you do not outline, as far as it suits the creative process, I think that's fine. There are plotters, there are pantsers, and there are plot pantsers. Like, people are in between. I have been a bit of all of them at some point in my life. I'm trying to remember the guy, the known writer that's a pantser. I don't know if it's Newman, forgotten, but I remember. He is a pantser and he has produced over 70 books. 70 books. 70. Oh my gosh. So, you know, it works for him, right? And not just shabby books, good books, like good books. It's working out for him, so that's cool, right? And my point is, if outline doesn't work for you, do what fits you. You must not outline to have a good book. If outline is not for you, it's not for you. All right. So the next one is you must have perfect grammar usage and spellings to be a good writer. So this one has a weight to it. It's somewhat true and it's still kind of a myth, right? So you can't just wake up one day having a badass grammalia. I don't know, like badass, goody grammar, spellings and all that. Actually, some persons have a bad habit with spellings, like they can't spell properly. But right, you should have like a core knowledge of it, even if you're not a ninja, a grammar ninja, but you should have a core knowledge, and you can brush up your skills. You can get a grammar checker. I use Grammarly, by the way, and I'll leave my link in the description box, so you can sign up my link and get a discount if you want to use the paid version. But it also has a free version, and the free version is like lit. Do check that out. And you could just observe, like listening to podcasts, audiobooks. When you listen to stuff, it brushes up like the way you pronounce words, something like that. So the next one is writing for a long time makes your manuscripts nice or great. Okay, so what do I mean? Like, some people think that people that have written books for one book like they are working on one book for a long time, for years, it make their work so great. Now, I'm not judging anybody's creative process. You could write your book for however long you feel. You could decide to write one book, work on one book 3 years, 5 years. It's your choice. It's what suits you. Like, I'm being very realistic. What suits you, you should go. That's what I'll tell you. But what I'm trying to say is that some persons think that if they take extra time writing a book, like they write one book for a longer time, it makes their manuscripts great. In my opinion, that is like false. The amount of time spent writing a book does not equal quality. Like, you could write one book for however long you want, like for so long, and still comes out as So the next one is self-publishing books are not good books. That is a myth, because the publishing choice or parts of the writer does not affect the quality of the book. Basically, people that use traditional publishers, you are just getting validated by a bunch of people. Now, I have no issue with traditional publishing. I think it's nice, it's cool and all, and it has all the processes. Yeah, if you want to go that way, that's cool, right? But my point is, I don't think we need to wait for people to like validate our work to send it out to the world. Writing only when you're inspired. There was a quote about that, but I forgot. My point is, if you want to write only when you're inspired, you finish your first book when you're 75. And I don't mean maybe stayed around 60, the age of 60, and you not finish in 15 years time. No. If you want to write only when you have inspiration, if you started at the age of 20 or your mid-30s, you will finish in the next 40 years. I said it. Come and meet me. But I'm just being very, very, very realistic. Like, inspiration can come once in a blue moon, and when it comes, like, how many words do you write? Even if your inspiration is like Jan, you now write 1,000 words. You sit down, you write out 1,000 words. You're feeling on fire. And then the inspiration does not come again in 2 months' time. Baby girl, that inspiration is coming like once every month, right? So write 12 times in a year. Oh no, we shouldn't go into that. It's a myth. If you thought about it, like if that was please unlearn it. It's false. So I think I've smashed enough of the writing myths. If I missed anyone, please tell me in the comment section. And I see you. You've watched till this point and you've not subscribed. I see you. You've watched and you've not liked. I see you. Please like and share this video. If you got this far, thank you so much for watching. If you're still here, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. I'm literally begging you right now, please subscribe, okay? Don't forget you can connect with me on any social media platform, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Pinterest. So that's it. Bye, lovelies.